Take
Hold
questions.
on. I
Sorry.
just want to say, why does Jason have that background?
Oh, hold on.
That's my high school.
But why?
I just was
Hey,
just.
man, rep it then. I respect
Yeah,
it.
I got to rep Long Beach Poly. We're the greatest high school in the world.
Hey, if you say so.
Jason, you might as well start.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's good?
Yeah, just asking about the defense. I know Corey mentioned about some of the changes might help to improve communication and help you guys in that area. Just I know it's only been one practice; it's still early, but what are you seeing that Rex has been able to add philosophy-wise that might help you guys improve this season?
It's definitely different than what Bob did from last year. As far as terminology, obviously, a lot of that is usually the same, but with the way that you switch kind of off-ball things, the way that we guard pin downs and pick and rolls is obviously the same. There's not many different ways that you can guard pick and rolls, but the way that we're guarding off the ball has definitely been a little bit different. It's kind of like the new age of basketball, the way that it's being played. So that's definitely different than what we did last year. And I think a lot of guys are liking it a little bit more. Obviously, like I said, it's different, but I think it's kind of harder to execute. But if you're doing it the right way, I think that we're in a great position defensively.
I'm just looking at getting back to running more. Luke talked about emphasizing getting up the court quick today. Just how does it feel to be getting back to that from the start of camp as opposed to kind of slowly working back into it the way you guys tried to do last year?
It was great. I think today, honestly, we looked a lot better than I thought we would, especially with coming in playing fast. You would think that it would be very sloppy, but I think it was a really good day with the scrimmages that we had today. And I mean, it's definitely. I mean, obviously, guys are still playing and getting into shape, but I think today, all in all, with the way that we ran and the way that our offense looked, it was definitely a great first day being together.
Sean Cunningham.
Hey, Darren, as you've kind of progressed in the NBA, does it get easier? I mean, I know at the end of the day it's just basketball, but does it get easier to incorporate so many new players year in, year out? I mean, there's obviously a slew of new guys this year, but what's that process like for you as a point guard?
For myself, I think it's gotten easier for sure. Obviously, like I'm not old. I'm starting to become like a vet, but like I'm still 22, only 20, about to turn 23. So for me, it's definitely easier. I mean, I'm an outgoing type of person, but once we get on the court, I'm kind of just into that point guard mode where, I'm getting everybody involved, or if it's talking guys through stuff. It's definitely gotten a lot easier regardless of, I think this is the first time that I think this is the most, the transition. I think this is the most players that I've had become different from like year 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, 3 to 4. It's definitely gotten a lot easier for me.
Gotcha. And then just, obviously first day of contact, things of that nature, we can't be there. Can you maybe do your best to just describe what the environment, what it's like in there, any main takeaways just from today?
I mean, once we got on the court, like, obviously, like the coaches still have the mask on and things like that, but it's very upbeat. It was a lot of energy today. This is one of the first. I think this might be the best first day of training camp that I've witnessed since I've been in the league. It's very fun. We're getting up and down the court. Obviously, our playing style, and you can tell just everybody's kind of in a joy to be able to get back together. Like I'm pretty sure everybody's been fiending, to be back on the court with other people and not for it to just be a workout. So it was definitely a fun environment, and I think we got a lot of work today.
James here.
What's up, De'Aaron? How are you?
So I'm good.
Good, man. Hey, was there anyone that stood out to you that you just like jumped off the page, that whether it's a new guy or whether it's one of the guys that have come back, it's just in incredible shape or has added something?
Just choosing one guy that jumped out to me today. I think it'd probably be Jabari. I mean, he did extremely well today. We know how dynamic he is with putting the ball in the basket, but we came down on him and tried to get the ball out of his hands. I think he made the right pass a majority of the time. He finishes in traffic so well. He hit the 3 ball. He did he definitely looked like, he put in a lot of work this summer.
And then when it comes to all the COVID stuff, I mean, we're looking at what's happening in Portland right now. They've shut down their training facility, and you guys are supposed to play them later in the week. Just how much do you think that that's going to play a role in this season, and how prepared do you guys have to be to just roll with the punches?
Man, with the NBA, it's definitely going to be different. I mean, it's not like the NFL where you have one game in a week. If somebody gets it, then you kind of shut down for a few days. Basketball, if one guy gets it or if you guys get it, you shut down. Now the whole team probably has to cancel 2-3 games. So for us, it's about being responsible and just trying to limit your opportunities to catch the virus. Obviously, people still want to live their lives and you still want to go grab something to eat sometimes, but it's just trying to think about others and keeping everybody safe.
Matt George.
Hi, De'Aaron. A couple of questions for you. The first, more of a curiosity question. Have you noticed your teammates approaching you differently or interacting with you differently after signing that contract, or is it pretty much the same interaction?
No, not necessarily. It's pretty much the same. I do think, when I'm talking, more guys are listening, but I think that has more so to do with the body of work, the way that I've worked and kind of held myself to and being the point guard. So I don't really think that has anything to do with the contract signing.
And then with the rookies specifically, they have a lot to learn in a short period of time. Sounds like they're going to get more than their fair share of opportunity. Just looking at them, their first day altogether, how impressed were you by the rookies' contribution today?
Oh, I was very impressed. I mean, they're here and they're willing to learn. They're ready to learn. I think we went through defense first, and maybe like 2 or 3 minutes into it, Jemias asked me a question, and that's what you want to see. Those guys are ready. When we scrimmaged, they were ready to play. They came out and they were able to affect the game. So I was very impressed with their first day of training camp.
Marshall Harris.
Hey, De'Aaron, you talked a little bit about rolling with the punches and obviously this being very different. I know time in the bubble kind of prepared you guys for getting back into things, I guess. How much preparation do you think you can have between now and that first preseason game Friday, given you're just now getting on the court with your teammates? What can be done between now and Friday?
Obviously, it's very limited, but when we step on the court, I mean, it's all business. You got to be ready to learn because, I mean, we're putting in a different offense, new defense. You have a lot of new players, a lot of new faces. So from here to Friday, it's just about being on the court and just being ready to learn. That's pretty much all you can do. Try to gel together as quickly as possible. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're not the only team that it was the first day of being able to get together. So there's no excuses. All of us are doing the same thing, and for us, we're just trying to gel together, quicker than other teams.
Last time we talked to you, you talked about obviously your contract and being, a cornerstone and trying to build something winning for several seasons as opposed to just a one-off. Have your expectations changed at the start of this season compared to maybe last season when obviously the goal make the playoffs and it'd be a disappointment if you didn't make the playoffs with all the different factors weighing in? Teams might play uneven number of games. You don't know when you're going to lose people. Are those expectations the same as they were as last season, like making the playoffs, or else the season is not successful in your eyes?
I definitely think it is, but the way we came out last year is definitely that was like a barrier that kind of stopped us in our tracks last year. So this season, for us, it's about starting off strong because, like you said, we don't know how many games are actually going to be played. So you don't want to dig yourself a hole, and then obviously, 72 games might not end up being played, and now the hole is deeper than you first thought. So for us, it's definitely about coming out strong over anything else.
A couple more, Tony Harvey.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah, De'Aaron. Coach Walton mentioned something about the beginning of this practice as far as defense, and he said you was, the point of emphasis. If that's how the discussion went, I just want to know, you say, you are about to turn 22, I believe, here December 20th. But how do you feel about the leadership role? Aside the money, you got paid, so that you're taken care of. But are you ready to take the next level to be, that voice in the locker room. You did say a lot of guys are listening to you now, so that right there says a lot. So where do you feel as far about taking over this team? Because you get a lot of respect around this league from other players. They forecast you as being a great player before any of us did. How do you feel about taking up a leadership role? What do you feel about that?
I think it's definitely the next step in my development that I needed. But for that, I think all it is about understanding the game, one, and then two, being able to be vocal about it and like express it. I think Jesse used to always ask, like, kind of why didn't I say anything sometimes, because he knows that I understand it. And for me, it's just being able to put it in words. Like I've always just been able to learn fast and be able to get things, but now taking that next step, it's not enough for only me to be able to understand it. I have to be able to explain it to other people, and that's, I think, is the next step for me. And I think I've started to get a lot better at that. And I know that's something that's going to be huge for us.
And when you first came to the league, you had people around you like Iman and Zach. What do you think about those guys, working around them to be a part of your development?
It was definitely huge. I mean, not only those two, but I had G Hill and G Temp, Vince. I really had, those veterans that were able to do those things. And it was definitely great for me because when I first came in, like I was 19 years old, I had a lot to learn. And they taught me the ropes of those things and especially how to be a pro. And going into year 4, I'm still using those things and I'm still getting better at those things. But I'm extremely grateful that I was able to have those type of veterans around me.
A couple more, Jason Anderson.
Fox, you're looking kind of big, buddy. Did you put on a few pounds in the off season?
Yeah, just a few. I got a couple.
Yeah, well, you're 5-10 pounds bigger, maybe.
Not 10 pounds, but
Not 10.
Nah.
Okay. Well, I asked because I know Lucas talked about you staying in town like a lot of the off season during the break. Did you have an emphasis in terms of why you wanted to be here, why you wanted to keep working closely to the organization, and what you wanted to do with that time?
Well, one was because if I went somewhere, I didn't know how long I was going to be there. So, and then I just bought a house here. So, I think we moved right after we got back from the bubble. And for me, it was like just being able to go to the facility is I mean, it's easy. And then obviously we shook some things up with the coaches and the players. So I thought it was just more convenient to stay in town. And I mean, it worked for the better for me.
Last one, Deuce. Oops. Sorry.
And De'Aaron, to that point, I was just curious how you're feeling physically compared to maybe previous years before a season. Like, are you feeling like 100%? I know it's all about getting back in the basketball shape, but how are you feeling headed into the season?
I feel great, man. Obviously, with the break that we had from the COVID stuff, and then going into the bubble, I think we only played for we were in the bubble for like a month. And then we were out, and then you're watching the playoffs, and I've been so ready to play. Like I didn't play a lot of I don't really play a lot of 5-on-5 in the summer. I kind of just focus on myself, and like I've just been extremely ready. I've been in the weight room. I've gotten stronger, but physically, I'm definitely ready. Mentally, I'm there. I don't know. I've just been eager to play. That's the best way I could put it.
Well, why do you feel so eager? Is it just kind of that taste that was left in your mouth after the bubble? Like, are you pretty fired up? Like, what's that mindset?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, before the bubble, I mean, we were in a position to make the playoffs. Obviously, we didn't perform the way that we wanted to, and since then, I kind of took a little break, and then I've just been preparing myself for this opportunity. And the fact that we have the opportunity to play basketball while the COVID situation is going on, for one, is just a blessing. And I'm trying to take advantage of that. And I've just been ready. That's pretty much the only way I could put it.
Thank you, Fox.
Yep.